Can you not hear us? Is that why you're touching your ear?
I was telling her she was mute.
It's me.
Oh,
I was mute, yeah.
oh yeah.
Merci,
Okay.
merci,
Thank you,
Janine.
Dr. Tammy.
Janine, since I just hit the record, can you go back in French, please? Or
Okay,
is that
we will do
okay?
that.
Maybe you can do it in between. It's fine.
Yeah, I will definitely repeat myself. Yes,
Okay,
of course.
back to you, Janine.
Thank you so much, Coach Sandra. Merci beaucoup. We're going to be going between French and English because we have a global platform. So we are very glad to be here today with wonderful speakers. We started since Tuesday afternoon for the Global Women Conference, which our title is really Your Pen and Your Purpose. Your pen is your purpose. Many of us went through a lot, which shaped us and really gave us the purpose to keep going and empower women. So, merci beaucoup de se connecter encore sur Facebook, YouTube. Nous sommes là depuis mardi après-midi et nous sommes vraiment dans la joie d'avoir tous ces panélistes. Ils ont commencé depuis jeudi mardi après-midi. Donc, on est là avec Coach Sandra, qui est la présidente de Speak Up for a Change, et moi-même, Coach Janine, avec With You Solution, avec Dr. Tammy, qui est aussi son groupe, c'est Catalyst for Change. Donc, merci beaucoup pour tous ces panélistes qui sont venus depuis Tuesday en train de parler du parcours d'un leader. Donc, nous sommes là pour vous encourager. En tout cas, invitez vos frères, invitez vos amis, vos familles, toute personne que vous pensez qu'ils seront vraiment bénis d'écouter ce parole parce que nous sommes là, nous avons créé cette plateforme pour encourager et surtout les femmes, mais surtout pour leur donner aussi les éléments pour qu'ils puissent savoir comment conduire un groupe, comment conduire l'équipe qu'ils sont en train de conduire chaque jour, parce que les femmes sont des leaders, ils sont vraiment des leaders naturels. Donc, nous sommes vraiment dans la joie. Restez connectés à nous. Pour cet après-midi, nous avons Coach Kim et nous avons Dr. Tammy. Elles vont nous parler de leur parcours en tant que leader. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Coach Sandra.
Merci, Janine. Merci. Et n'oublie pas d'ajouter qu'aujourd'hui, nous sommes en train de célébrer une dame nominée la présidente de Tanzanie. We are celebrating a women and a particular woman in Africa that was nominated yesterday as a president of Tanzania. Yes, a sister, because the president, the ex-president was suicide 3 days ago, and they finally nominated a woman. Isn't it beautiful, strong, and powerful? And also in Benin, Cotonou, the first ever female vice president was soon in April. And we are making history. That's why we are putting all these platforms together to bring more women out, to just come out of your head and say, yes, if those sisters can do it, we also, or my daughter can also become a first lady, a first prime minister ever in my hometown, Togo, West Africa. Yes, she's the first ever. And we are doing it, we are going fine. And guess what? Our sister, Kamala Harris, was the head, the vice president of the best country in the world. How far can we women, we can go? And guess what? If we love one another, embrace one another, support one another, let's forget about money sometimes. We put up this. Yes, all the speakers can say, no, I check this before speaking, but they say no, forget about money. And we are here. Anything that will lift up women, we're gonna support. That's how we put up this. And thank you all the speakers. And Dr. Tammy, since day one, when we reach out to her, she said, do this, do this. She forgot about all she was doing and say, I will help. We put up all these platforms there because we don't know much about this social medias. Yes, we do, but somebody else know more than you. So she stepped in and we put up all this. That's why we are sitting here together. So a big thanks to Dr. Tammy, Janine, and all the lady and our special sister straight from California as well, since She heard about this conference. She's been sharing the link, inviting people to come. Sister Jasandra, thank you so, so much. She's never tired. Oh. Since morning, she's here. She said anything that will inspire women. She's ready, making phone calls for us. So please, that's what we want to see. Yes, that's how we want the world to be. We are the foundation. When the home is well built, then anything is possible. Thank you, thank you. And let's do it. Back to you, Janine, so we can start this.
Okay. Oh, you said it all, and you said it well, very much so. Because the reason why we really did this women conference, not just to celebrate women, which we should be able to do that every single day, because women need to be celebrated every single day, because they're really doing the work. Because we are committed to also to create platform. You know, many of us, we came from different countries, but we also realize that we have all of this together, and it's really about empowering the others. You know, that's what Dr. Tammy always mentioned in her work, that how, you know, the work that you do impacted others. This is what we do, guys, empowering each other, coming together, sisterhood. Many of you guys, maybe you don't know me yet, but I already know you. So, and we're gonna grow in this sisterhood. It's not so much about how long we have known me or how long I've known you. It's really about we see our vision aligned with each other, and how can we empower more together. So that's really what the reason why we bring on all these, you know, powerful make changes speakers, and also because we have seen how they've been doing. Many of us have really got the privilege to get to know Coach Kim. It's because I think leadership, it's really one of her topics that she's always talk about. So when we were preparing this conference, I really thought about, I said, she will be somebody that can be able to bless us with a small nugget and me, and really talk about leadership, because that's what she train women, she work with women, she empower women every day. So I'm really glad, and many among, you know, the speakers today talk about the same topic. So I'm glad to be able to introduce Coach Kim, so she can be able to definitely give us all, explain to us and share her own journey, you know, through her pain, but really shifted, and now she become her purpose, and she's empowered people through leadership development trainings and so forth. Thank you so much, Coach Kim.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Janine. I mean, it's an honor to be here with such powerful women. I am always honored to be surrounded by other women who have turned their pain into purpose, women who are on the journey, because there are no big I's and little U's. We are all women that are moving forward. We all have a purpose. Everyone has a purpose for being here. None of us are mistakes. We were all designed
Yes.
perfectly the way we are, with everything that we have. And I believe that we have exactly what we need for the journey that we are designed for. We're not missing anything. So to any woman who hears this today, one thing I would want you to leave with is that you're not missing anything. You have everything you need for the journey that God created you for. There may be times where you need support because someone has already done step 5 and you're on step 3 and they can help you get
Yes.
to step 5. There may be times when you need someone to stand beside you, to lift you up, to hold your hand. And then there's times when you have to pay that back. You have to be the woman who holds someone up, who stands beside them, who guides them. So for me today, the one thing that I really like to share, I always pray before I take on anything, before I connect with a client, before I do anything, I pray and say, Lord, what is it that you would like for me to share today? Because it's not about what I want to do. It's about what's already purposed for this
Yes.
day,
Mm-hmm.
what's already here for this day. So first, let me share a little bit about myself. So I'm in Los Angeles, California. I am the youngest of 4 children. I grew up with a mom who had a mental illness, a severe mental illness, according to the doctors, but she was the best mom that you could ever want because she gave me so much love. Sometimes she was unable to verbally communicate, but we communicate spirit to spirit. And she's the leader who guided me and showed me how to be a leader, to not always have to say, but let your presence speak for itself, to have that command presence. When you enter the room should shift because some woman of God has entered the room. So I'm honored to be her daughter and to be representing her here today. You know, I've had a long career in retail leadership. So on the business side, God allowed me to learn some things so that I could share some things along the way. But the thing that he asked me to share with you guys today is about being an eagle. An eagle is a leader, and us women, we are eagles. We are leaders in the environment that we lead in, and we must know that we are purposefully there. So one person that I really have always been impressed with is Dr. Maya Angelou. As a little girl, I remember reading her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And maybe you've read the book, and if not, I encourage you to do so. It's been around a long time. Dr. Maya Angelou is a great orator. She's a poet. And, you know, I read this book, and at the time, I had no idea why the caged bird sang. I knew that part of the book was that she stopped talking because she believed that her words caused the death of the person who had violated her as a child. And she saw her voice as something that was not positive. She saw her voice as a weapon, a deadly weapon that caused his death. And throughout the book, you can read it for yourself to see how it turns out. But today, and the person that I am today, I know why the caged bird sings. You want to know?
Yeah.
I know why the caged bird sings. She sings because she does not belong in a cage. She sings because she feels like she's slowly dying inside. She sings because she really wants to scream, but because she can't scream, she sings, and she wants out of that situation. She wants out of that cage because she doesn't belong there. She definitely doesn't belong there. She sings because she might be that strong friend, you know, like we are, that strong friend, and we can't be vulnerable. We have to be the one that's there for everybody, and we have to be the one that shows up, and the one that comes through for others. She sings because she's waiting for someone to come through for her. She sings because she is the person that everyone says, "Oh, I love your song. You just bless me. You just make me feel so good." And she's waiting for someone to help hold her up, to bless her. And as women leaders, it's all of our responsibility to help hold her up. It's all of our responsibility as egos to flock together and hold each other up. And if I may, I'd like to share with you a few facts about egos. So I'll share with you 5 facts about egos. Egos have great vision. So if you think about an eagle soaring in the sky, they have great vision. They have to be able to see all over what's going on. You have maybe heard of the eagle eye, like the eye that is targeted. We have great vision. And I want to ask you today, have you lost sight of your vision? Have you lost sight of those ideas, dreams, plans that you talk about with your friends? Have you lost sight of it because you found yourself in the chicken coop, in that cage? Eagles don't belong in the chicken coop. I would encourage you to tap back into the vision. What's that thing that you wanted to do as a little girl? What's that thing that you wanted to do as a teenager that's inside you that hasn't left? I encourage you to tap back into that. The second fact about an eagle is eagles only eat what they kill. So the eagle chooses what she eats. She doesn't allow others to choose for her. She uses her own innate appetite to know what she needs. Are you choosing your path today? Are you allowing others to do that for you? Are you allowing others to tell you, "Oh yeah, you'll be really good at this," when you already know with your knowing that pain to that purpose of what you should be doing? Another thing about eagles is that we're not intimidated by the size of the prey or the size of the opportunity. So don't allow fear of what she's doing or she's doing to make you be intimidated. Like Coach Janine today, she took on this great conference, and she just came from I'm not online to here I am. Hear me roar. Like, I'm an eagle, I'm rising, I'm gonna soar. And if you don't like it, then you'll begin to like it after you keep seeing me day after day after day. I'm so proud of you to get online and show up and show out.
Thank you.
Yes, eagles have many strengths. Do you have strengths that you've forgotten about? Like, there's things that you can do and you're kind of waiting on somebody else to do it when no one else is going to show up. The cavalry's not coming. You're supposed to do that thing. You're the person who has the strength, and maybe you've dumbed down a little bit, maybe you've hidden a little bit, but I want to encourage you to do like Coach Janine is doing. Open it up, stand up, turn on that camera, and let us hear your voice, because there is no voice like your voice. There is no one who can replace you. There's no one who can fill your spot. There's no voice like your voice. Eagles flock together. We test before we trust, because we need someone that is not going to get tired in the flight. We need someone who's going to be able to breathe at that high level that we're going to. Eagles are leaders, and leaders come together and make a great thing, like this conference today. Different leaders from different backgrounds, from different parts of the country coming together to create something great that can help other women go from pain to purpose.
Mhm.
What partnership opportunities are available to you right now that you're not taking advantage of? I would like you to just think about that. Maybe there's people who want to partner with you. Maybe there are people that you want to partner with, but you're not taking advantage of that. Think about that. And then I encourage you to pick up your courage and go out there and do it. And then the last thing about eagles is that we elevate in the storm. So while other birds or other people flee from the storm, oh, it's raining, I'm going to get wet. Not eagles, not leaders. We elevate in the storm. We use the storm or the struggle to take us higher. We ride on the clouds. We ride on the storm. We stand on top of the problem. We stand on top of the struggle, not in the struggle, because once God has pulled us out, we stand on top and we elevate and we bring others with us. We rise as we bring others with us. It is our responsibility to bring others with us. So finally, I know why the cage bird sings. We sing because eagles don't belong in the chicken coop. And I want to encourage you to get out of the chicken coop. If you find yourself in a place where you've had a lost identity because you're being who someone told you to be instead of being who God told you to be. If you have where you go or what you eat, be who God has created you to be, because you cannot spread your wings in a coop. An eagle can't spread our wings. We can't fly. Chickens don't fly. So we don't have any reason to be caught up in that coop. It's time for us to sing our song. And if you're ready to rise and be the eagle that you were created to be, that's the message I'd like to share today. Welcome, eagles. It's an honor to meet you.
Wow, thank you, Coach Kim. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. And I just want to give you guys, a quick story with Coach Kim, because I think we already connected, a couple years ago. And then she told me, said, Janine, like, I know what you're doing and I love what you're doing, but your story, because she said, I can see how you empower others through what you see as a history and everything else, but I don't hear your voice. So since then, I was like, okay, that was something because for many years, the people who knows me, I was always beyond the scene. I mean, I'm doing a lot, but beyond the scene. So to me, it was like, wow. So that was like a wake up call. She said, I want to hear your voice, because there's a lot of, you help a lot. You help a lot of people. You empower a lot of people. Everybody, they're thanking you, but I don't see you. It's because nobody ever asked me that before. So I really thank Coach Kim. But my question to you, Coach Kim, is, can you talk about the mindset of the ego? Because that's a very good thing that you guys give us. But what is the mindset of the ego?
I apologize. The mindset of the ego is focus. Focus is very important. Sometimes we lose focus and we have to refocus. But if you notice, the ego has something that they are intently focused on achieving.
Oh, thank you so much, Coach Sandra. Any other question for Coach Kim before we go to our next speaker?
Thank you, Coach Kim. Kim. Thank you for everything you just say. And like you say, we women, we are ego, and ego choose what she eats. She never waits for anyone to tell him or her to tell her what to eat. So thank you so much. And I know, and all of you who are watching, whatever you are watching from Africa, Europe, and around the world, as a woman sitting down in your office, home, kitchen, whatever you are, just know that choose whatever you want. Don't wait until someone say, oh, you can do this. I think if we wait forever, we're not going to put up this platform, because we know and believe that something will come out of this 6 days that we put together to empower women, to celebrate women. And one of us, one of our sister, one of our speaker, one of our mom, aunts, everything, Mrs. Kim, all the way from LA, just said it. We women, we are ego. Let's just rise. You see, ego always all the way up, and just catch whatever he wants, she wants, and just devour. So devour whatever you want. Your eyes need to be that target. Tag whatever. My target is always there. Early morning. I never give up on what I want, and I never expect people to tell me you can't do it. Whenever you say, oh, Ajo, you cannot do this. People have tried and they couldn't succeed. I'm not them. I'm different. Try. If you fail once, try again. If you fail second, try. Keep trying. One beautiful morning is going to be your turn. We all have a time set up for everything. Don't rush. We may rush and end up in something bad. Just even it's $1, $10, $3, keep using it, trying. When I first published my first book, The Heart of a Warrior, I didn't have any money. I'm telling you guys, I don't even know how I did it. The second one, The Race of Love, I was like, God, whatever. The first one was very successful. And I used all that money to put children into school, for back to school and everything, because that was what I say I would do with the money. And the second one, The Little Left, I published my second book. And the third book, everything it wasn't planned the way I wanted, but I asked God to just lead me the way I wanted to be. And more, I'm writing 3 books right now, soon will be published. So let's continue doing the best we can. And thank you so much, Kim, oh my goodness, Mrs. Kim, for all you just put out there. It gives me more courage to continue doing what I have to do. Thank you. And back to you, Janine. And welcome, my sister. I saw you've been connecting, and I'm sorry. And I told Janine that Mrs. Otomola have been connecting, and when we finish. So thank you for joining now.
Thank you so much, Coach Sandra. We are very blessed to have these ladies, and thank you and welcome, Coach Otomola. We really can't wait to hear also about her all the way from Canada as well. So we have a lot of people from Canada connecting. I think also we are going to have speakers tomorrow from Canada. So we are a global platform, and thank you, Coach Kim, for those are very good nuggets. Now our second speaker, Dr. Tammy. She's the one that always help us to put stuff together. But I'm gonna give you a little story about her. Like she's gonna give you her version, but she's always say, "Okay, Janine, Okay. Like I just go say, listen, I really need you. Get yourself together. He said, okay, I think I already realized that there's no room for me to say yes or no, but I'm ready. But that's the kind of mindset that, yeah, Tammy and I and Coach Sandra, we just, let's do this. We have to do this. So welcome, Dr. Tammy. She's really not somebody I can introduce. She's really somebody, our girl, somebody, our sister. So thank you, Dr. Tammy, and welcome.
Thank you. And she's absolutely correct. I was like, Janine, I have so much going on this week. Like, oh my goodness, I'm going to school. I'm also, working, and we're having interviews this week. She was like, it's all right. Come on, let's go. And so she's definitely right. Like, no matter what I said, yes or no. And I'm like, I'm really busy. Like, I really am busy. I'm not making this up. But she's like, let's go. So I love it. I love it. So thank you for pushing me and encouraging me and allowing me to be here today with you all. So I am Dr. Tammy, success strategist and literacy educator. I help purpose-driven leaders move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next. And one of the ways that I do that is what I'm going to share with you today. And that's by motivation, inspiration, and encouragement. And I think there's some synergy with our messaging today, Coach Kim, because I had already, and we didn't talk, just so y'all know, but our preparation was in isolation. However, the message is going to be in community. So I'm really excited about the next speaker too, because I think there may be this synergy that goes on and this thread that's going on and this message. So apparently that's the message for today. I know I need it. So I know that what I send out in the world comes back to me, and that's exactly what's happening. And so that's why I always encourage others to think about what you're sending out in the world, because it will come back to you. So I want to talk about detours to destiny. And that's what I want to focus on today, because a lot of my platform is talking about making sure you align yourself with who you are, and then discover your purpose, uncover it, and do that thing that you enjoy. And I know we're talking about your pain, your purpose, and your pain. You can turn your pain into your purpose, and possibly your purpose, you're going through that pain because that's part of getting you to your destination. And so one thing I know is that we've got to start with who we are. So my first question to you, and it's for you to just think about. So if you have your journals, if you have your pen and paper, is just to think about, who are you, and write that down. I believe that we are whatever follows I am. So started with I am, and I'm big on affirmations. I am, and whatever follows that, write that down. That answers the question, who are you? Because you've got to start there. You got to know who you are so you know where you're going. If you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going. And this platform, Celebrating Women in Leadership, is not only is it to help you help those that you are impacting, but it's also to help you on your journey continue in that leadership position. So I want you to not give up and keep going. So that's kind of the summation of it. That's the TED Talk version, but I'm going to give you the longer version. So what is your gift? What is your purpose? And, if you know yours, you can definitely put that in the chat for those of you who are joining us live and here in studio. You can definitely put that in the chat. But what is your gift, and what is your purpose? And are you doing that thing? So it's one thing to know it, but are you doing it? And that's the other part of it. So I'm going to just, and I also believe, before I go on, because I'm going to read something, if you are doing it, then this is for you. If you're not, I want to know why not, but this is for you. So either way it falls, because even though you may be in leadership, are you really leading those and serving those you're meant to serve? So that's part of it. So I want to, start with some encouragement before we get into the meat of this. And this is from my book, Reap More. Your vision and your gift are designed and designated for you. Embrace them. What you have been given, your vision and gift or talent, is made only for you. Only you can see your vision. Only you can use your gift or talent. So embrace them, pursue them. No comparing, no competing, just do you. And so I just want to talk about detours to destiny, because on this journey, one thing I know, that you're going to encounter some things that's going to seem like you're getting off track, like things are changing and you want to change your goal. You may have this big project or plan that you're implementing and you're like, this is it. This is the next level. And then something happens. But I want you to know to just keep going. Destiny is the events that happen to us in the future, but also the hidden power to control what will happen in the future. So I'm going to talk about it from both angles. And so when you think about it from both angles. Sometimes we doubt the plan because things don't go the way we planned. Sometimes we push what we are meant to do to the side for what is safe because we don't see a clear path to it. Sometimes we even have people in our ear telling us we shouldn't do the thing we know we are meant to do, we are called to do. Let's be real. Sometimes what is even happening in our lives just doesn't make sense. And you're like, why is this happening? Let's just be real about that. And so that's what I want to say, opposition. And I want to give you a disclaimer. Opposition doesn't mean you need to detour. Detours will happen along the way without your interference. So just know that that's going to happen. And just know that that doesn't mean you change the plan or you change what you want to do. You change what you know is aligned to do. You change what you have been designed and designated to do. So disclaimer number 2, resistance. Most people think resistance are those things that are out there, their finances, what somebody say, what somebody doesn't say, what somebody do, what they don't do, is all these outside factors. But I'm going to have you think about resistance a little differently today. Resistance is internal. That's you stopping yourself. Part of resistance is fear, self-doubt, avoidance. All those things that's considered resistance. They are part of resistance. Detours or distractions, they are unpredictable. They are inconvenient. They throw us off track. They make us feel like we don't know where we are going. They even make the journey longer and require more time to get to where we're going or do what we're meant to do. However, we must remember that no matter where the detours take us, our journey is the same. Our destiny is the same. We allow ourselves to get flustered by detours. We lose focus. And that's what Coach Kim talked about today, was focus. The eagle is focus. The one trait you got to remember is to stay focused. That's why I say there's some synergy here. You know, we forget that there is a plan for our lives. What we know we are meant to do. So I'm going to share 3 things as you think about detours. Think about 3 things when it comes to detours to help you with that idea that, oh my goodness, I didn't plan for this. This wasn't supposed to happen this way. We know we've told ourselves those things. So 1, detours are a part of the plan. Nothing is allowed to happen that's not supposed to happen. So no matter what you believe in God, Allah, the universe, no matter what you hinge that on, nothing is allowed to happen that is not supposed to happen. So expect detours, know that they will come. Expect them. Number 2, detours are distractions. They can be distractions. We get caught up in them. We start, oh my goodness, this is not supposed to happen. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What? We can't get comfortable while detouring. So sometimes we even sometimes we expect, we're talking about the pain. Sometimes the pain is so much, sometimes we're so used to the pain that it becomes comfortable. That's what we enjoy. So you got to know that sometimes these detours are also lessons. There's lessons there. So we must read and follow the signs along the way. We must trust the plan for our life. Those detours and signs will guide you to where you're supposed to be. So just know there are lessons there, you know, and so that's number 3. Detours are necessary. Detours are necessary. They're preparation. While you're on a detour, while things are happening, and if you only knew half of what was happening to me this past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you were probably like, oh my goodness, you were dealing with all that. They are preparation. While you're on a detour, there's something you have to learn about yourself for where you're going. You see things with new eyes if you really pay attention. It's developing something in you for your destiny. Situations are allowed to happen to push you and move you into your next, whatever that is for you. Whether it's writing that book you didn't write, maybe it's starting a business, maybe it's adding a nonprofit to what you're doing because you're already in this leadership role. Whatever that next is for you, even if painful, these detours are painful, you have to remember you have a destiny, a plan for you and only you. You are being prepared. So there's lessons there. So pay attention to the signs. Detours to redirect our path, not the destination. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back, because I know there's people way in the back and your volume's down low. So I'm going to say it for those people. Detours redirect our path, not the destination. What is for you is for you. Detours are a part of the journey. You must trust what you have and where you're going. And sometimes you have to trust sometimes what you haven't acknowledged or recognized. So y'all know I'm a teacher. I'm an assistant professor, so I have to give homework. So y'all ready for your homework? I have to leave you with some homework because everything you've been through has led you to this moment. And so be intentional. Planning and living on purpose is what my platform is about. So I encourage you to think about and journal and implement strategy to help you along the way and to know that you're okay. You're okay. So we're talking about staying focused, right? Staying focused, being clear, you know, and clarity comes along the journey because when you go through things like, oh, now that makes sense. Have you ever been in a situation like that where you've been through something and then you don't know why in the world this is happening to you? And then you look back like, yep, that's why it happened, because now you have something to speak to. Now you have something to share. You have a story to write in a book. Hint, hint. No matter where you are in your journey, I want you to win. So here's your homework. You ready? So win, W-I-N, win is your homework. So number 1, write your vision. Write it down. And some of us have done our vision. We have a vision board, we have a vision collage, whatever. We do that periodically. But if you haven't done it since 2021, it's time for you to reassess, reevaluate. And so I encourage you to win. And to win, you're going to write your vision. Who are you? What is your purpose? And are you operating in your gift? Truly, fully in your gift, even as a leader. Are you? What's next? All right. Number 2, when I implement task, those things that you know you should be doing, you're meant to do, execute, action. You know, we had been in the middle of a pandemic, and I know a lot of people say, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. No, we're not going to wait. We're going to write down our vision, and then we're going to start creating some tasks to implement. And number 3 is to note your journey, your progress, your path, journal and reflect. Sometimes we don't know where we're going because we haven't really thought about or reflected on where we've been. You got to acknowledge your wins. You got to acknowledge what you've done along the way, what you've encountered along the way. That may just be those lessons, those detours that we've talked about. Yeah, those things. So for homework, I want you to win. Write, implement, note. All right. Take note, evaluate. So I'm going to read one more because I keep saying detours redirect our path, not our destination. Detours are necessary. You're being prepared. Detours are those things that will throw you off track, maybe even knock the breath out of you, but keep going. Be confident in your pursuits. Be patient with yourself. Your destiny awaits. Hang in there, keep going, press on, trust the stay focused. Like that eagle we talked about today. Stay focused. Thank you. Thank you, Coach
Wow,
Kim, for
thank
taking the
you.
notes and the thing.
Thank you, Coach Kim, to putting all the notes. Guys, this is a good treat. We just started from ego and now detour. It's not going to stop you from the destination. That's amazing, guys. I don't know if you were
Oh, and I
taking
like
notes.
that, Jasandra. I am a connector. I connect folks globally. Yes. So we need to get connected because we need to
And
get connected.
this is the right place to do that because we, Coach Sandra and I, and Dr. Tammy, and all of us who were really behind the scene, the reason why we put together was really the connection, the sisterhood, and the true partnership. Because there's partnership and partnership. I know what I'm talking about. Some people, because they know that you global, they want to, that really draw close to you so they can be able, but they are true partnership where there's nobody looking around. The person are always there and committed to have. This is people like Dr. Tammy, people like Gisandra that we just met like few days ago, but she's consistently supporting one another. So this is a true partnership, and that's all we are all about: public service and really be committed. Dr. Kim also, Coach Kim, she's always there for me, and now she's all of us. She's always gonna be there, and that's really about it. To me, it's really authentic leader. That's really what it's about making sure that you focus, making sure that you're committed, and to really live to one another. Because there's no room. I always say there's no room for arrogance, or there's no room for competing or even comparing. We don't have time for that. We only have one thing in common to do, which is really to empower one another, just like what Dr. Tammy said, and make sure you operating under your vision, under your gift, because there's people out there waiting to hear. And that's what Coach Kim told me. Said, Janine, I see on your profile you always like uplifting people, empowering people through other people's story. But now I want to hear you. I want to. So that will stay with me. And thank you again, Coach Kim. You're amazing. Since then, I was like, okay, now let's do this. So I really started to, really putting myself out there, even though for many years I was always beyond the scene, because I believe that somebody gotta do it. Somebody need to take care of this and that. But I never really showed myself that like I need to be up there up front, because to me it's all about getting stuff done. That it's all about for me. But I'm really very grateful for all these great women. Now we're going to go to our third speaker, but before that, Coach Sandra, do you have anything to say?
Thank you, Dr. Tammy. I know you're gonna deliver and make me proud. Thank you, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I'm sorry. Like I said yesterday, after we finished the evening session, I ran to Sam's Club. As usual, every month, I had to ship food to Africa for my women. And we pack everything. Now they are here to take everything away for express shipping so that they can receive it before Easter. So you guys can hear the noise on the background. I'm sorry. But thank you. And yes, that's who we are. And if you want to know more about us and our upcoming events, check out on our website, www.speakerforachange.co, www.speakerforachange.co, which empowers women globally. and we take care of so many things. And you can become a partner. Let's partner. Let's help women and girls out there, because without our help, who is going to lead tomorrow? We need someone to take over tomorrow, and they're going to be the one. Let's prepare them now. That's why this platform was founded. And thank you, Janine. Thank you, Dr. Tammy. Rosalind, all the way from Toronto. I say Toronto, Vancouver. And we have our sister. She's like a sister-in-law, because I've been married to a Yoruba man, and my children. Yes, I have the Ade in the house. And so whenever a Yoruba, they are a tribe who is so close. If you marry a Yoruba man, just know you marry one, you marry the entire Yoruba. So welcome my sister-in-law, and thank you, Mrs. Kim, for your support and for coming here and set it all. And I know many women are out there and gonna listen and get more empowered. We're gonna share everything from day one. After this, we're gonna put everything out there with the link, and we have a big surprise coming the last day. Please, please, please connect Sunday. Whenever you're gonna be doing, don't miss out, please. My mouth is so, Janine said, don't ever. So I have to respect it. It's just like a 1 minute
spill
away.
the beans. Don't spill it. Keep it.
Yes.
Keep it.
Hold your mouth. So thank you, ladies, and back to you, Janine. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you listen to me sometimes. Well, we
Just never know about us.
I'm telling you, like my son, my last born always say, Mama, I didn't know it. I just let it out without knowing.
Thank you, ladies. Merci beaucoup. I'm going to speak to my French community too. Merci beaucoup de nous avoir suivis avec Coach Kim et Dr. Tammy. Elles nous ont encore donné beaucoup d'éléments. Comment être un leader authentique. So, merci beaucoup. En tout cas, nous allons continuer avec une autre, la troisième, celle qui va clôturer la conférence cet après-midi. Donc, nous sommes vraiment dans la joie. Et merci YouTube, Facebook et partout là où vous nous suivez. Alors, maintenant, on va donner à la dame, Madame Otomola, c'est elle qui va nous parler parce qu'elle aussi, elle a commencé son parcours. Elle est du Canada. Donc, merci beaucoup en tout cas. Thank you guys. This is now the time we're gonna invite our third speaker. She's amazing too. I've been also connected with her through LinkedIn and talk back and forth. So I can't wait to hear all about her. She's also in a very, she has many hats. She's been doing a lot of professional trainings, leadership. So she's just also going to share with us her journey through her leadership and her pen and her story. She's in Canada, I believe Ontario, but definitely welcome, Coach Otomola.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Doing good.
That's awesome. It's so good to see you. I am so honored to be here.
Thank you.
I said to myself, how am I going to cope speaking after all these awesome ladies have spoken? What am I going to say? So I told God, I said, Lord, please just help me. How? Just give me something to be able to drop. Even if it's one thing that they take away this afternoon, I'll be really glad. So Janine, I am so honored to be here. I am so glad. I'm so thrilled. Thank you so much for the honor. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
So my name is Oluwafemi. And the only reason why I'm telling you my name is Oluwafemi is because of the meaning. The meaning, it means God loves me. That's what it means. So I always like to tell people the full meaning of my name, but please feel free to call me Femi. It's okay to call me Femi, F-E-M-I. So I started my HR journey about 20 years ago. And I've worked in different sectors. I've worked in Nigeria, West Africa. I've worked here in Canada in a couple of places. And I always had at the back of my mind the intention to start something, but I wasn't sure of exactly when to start it. So guess when I decided to start it? When the pandemic hit. I said, okay, let me try. And people thought, are you okay? Are you crazy? Are you sure this is the best time to start? But I said, I've been putting this off for too long and I just needed to start it. So what really endeared me to leadership and why I was thrilled to talk about it is because throughout my journey, okay, I have a background in HR, like I said. I set up my consulting firm, I think it was last year, about July or so. And since then, I've been delivering trainings in employee engagement, respect in the workplace, workplace harassment. These are things that I'm really big on. And why is that? I have experienced all kinds of things in the workplace. And I kept saying to myself, this is not how to be a leader. I used to say it to myself. So I said, okay, if I haven't been able to see people, I mean, throughout my journey, I think I just had two, and they happened to be males. It was just two males that kind of fitted my description of who a leader should be. And I thought that was so sad because all the other people that supervised me that were female, to be honest with you, I didn't find it easy with them. For some reason or the other, they liked me from the scratch, and that's why they hire me. And then once they hire me, then after a few months, they start getting threatened. And I'm like, I'm just so pleased being in the background, just doing what I need to do. Anyway, that's a very long story. It's a very long story for another day. So I set up the Shalom Shalom Consulting, and I said, I need to focus on workplace harassment. I need to focus on respect in the workplace because I had seen it being done in a way that it shouldn't have been done in too many places, not just in Africa, but even here in Canada, in a couple of places. So that was why I started Shalom Shalom. And then I was really thrilled, like I said, when you said I should talk about leadership. I said, okay, this is something, this is an opportunity for me. So I came across a quote some time ago, and it says, woe to you, O land, when your king is a child. You see, every human being is a leader over some domain as he or she exercises gifts and influence. That domain might be in the halls of government, it might be in the boardroom, it might be in the classroom, it might be in the community, it might even be in the home. You see, in hindsight, events I experienced first and second hand in the secular and non-secular world drove me to my inclination. It drove me to take a deeper dive into the subject of leadership. And that is why we are here today. You see, being a leader, sometimes you find yourself in a position of authority. You find yourself leading a team. You might not be a manager, but you're leading a team. There are various definitions of leadership, and I'm not going to bore you by taking you through all those different definitions of leadership. But I'll just say that leadership is engaging members of a group and providing guidance and support while being accountable for the group's achievement of organizational goals and objectives. Leadership can be demonstrated in situations where one is in supervisory or non-supervisory role. In any situation, leadership involves leading a group of 2 or more people and being accountable for the group's results, either positive or negative. We'll touch more on this later. So in other words, the leader of a project, a committee, a working group in a temporary situation that arises can demonstrate leadership. It's not exclusively tied to a traditional team leader or a manager role. The reporting structure may not be officially established in such temporary circumstances. However, the group is working together and this person is recognized as the leader of the group for a specific task. The core drive of groups is to ensure that the group remains motivated and empowered. So a school of thought, what exactly does leadership mean to you? A school of thought posits being in a position of leadership doesn't necessarily make you a leader. Personally, I think this is a big issue. It has nothing to do with your role, your job title, or your seniority. It doesn't matter your place in the organizational structure of a business or where you stand within your community. If you can help others to push beyond their capabilities and achieve great things, then you are a leader. A leader does not focus on power. Instead, their focus is on relationships. Leadership is about connecting people from different backgrounds, motivations, and ways of thinking. Even if you don't have staff or a team reporting to you, it's still possible that you're a leader by influencing others. I've seen people in positions of authority with direct reports, and I've secretly wondered how they achieve such heights within some organizations. To the decision makers out there, the fact that someone is good at their job does not necessarily mean that they will make good leaders. As I alluded to earlier, I've worked in a couple of organizations, and out of the supervisors I had, like I said earlier, only 2 stood out to me that were doing a good job, and these people happen to be male. Unfortunately, we have a few square pegs in round holes out there. And then in an organization I worked, even here in Canada, I once had an HR director that was socially distant even before social distancing was recommended as a practice to stem the tide of the pandemic. You can imagine her, she was an HR director, female HR director, sitting inside her office. People will cringe passing by her door. Even I hated going to her. She was my supervisor. She was the HR director, but I detested going to her. You know how it is when you get into a room. You know our thoughts are powerful. You get into her room and you just feel this heaviness. So people avoided going to her and they'll come to me. They'll come to me with issues that were higher than my pay grade. And each time I redirected them to her, they're like, no, you go and tell her. And I'm like, how can I go and tell her this is an issue that I'm not being paid for? It's way higher than my pay grade. Please go to her. So people avoided her. And I started asking myself, this person may be talented, but she's not cut out to be a leader. She should not be in that position. And unfortunately, there's so many people out there that are not cut out for that leadership position. But maybe they rose through the ranks, like in this person's case, she had risen through the ranks and then she ended up being the director and she was petrifying everybody around her, including me. Petrifying not because she was intimidating me, but because, like I said, she just liked to be on her own. She seemed like somebody that should be, please, for the computer scientists out there, I'm not saying this to denigrate you. She seemed like somebody that should be sitting on the top of a hill somewhere because she didn't like to be around people. And I said to myself, how can you be in HR and you don't love people? You need to love people in HR. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. I don't want to go on about her because she's not the subject of discourse here. So every day we read about successful people in various walks of life who have lost their power and influence. They've been fired, forced to resign, or shamed out of public life. They no longer have a market for their gifts, and they may even face criminal proceedings. These leaders have lost the trust of their companies, constituents, nations, followers, and families. Many were surprised to discover that their talents alone were not enough to prevent their downfall. Why did they fail in the end? Because they lacked one quality that would have protected their leadership and given them enduring influence. Ironically, this quality is seldom taught to leaders today, either formally or informally. It's the quality of character. We as leaders need to discover what character is, what it means to develop the right character, and how to persevere in our leadership influence so that it's both effective and enduring. Recently, we had a very high-profile scandal here in Canada. It was about someone in a very high and lofty position. It was about Canada's Governor General. I'm just going to play it, and I hope you'll be able to hear the news item. I'm just going to play. Please listen. It's just for about a minute.
Moving on, Canada's Governor General has resigned after an external report found evidence of workplace harassment, so much so that the staff were bullied to tears. The report paints a concerning picture of Julie Payette's leadership skills and questioned her ability to continue in her role as head of state. The Governor General is the representative of Britain's Queen Elizabeth II. This will be the first time a Governor General in Canada has ever been forced to resign. Trudeau in September had defended her and refused to ask her to step down. Payette's resignation reflects badly on Trudeau, who had handpicked the former astronaut himself. This comes after a member of her staff told Canadian News Channel that they were scolded by Payette to the point of tears. She also has been accused of bullying her staff. Osona de Lorenzo, a secretary to the Governor General, and her top aide has also resigned. The Governor General is a non-partisan role and has constitutional duties that include swearing in the Prime Minister, Cabinet Minister, and the Chief Justice of Canada. The Governor General is also the Commander-in-Chief and gives royal assent to Canadian laws.
So, oh, I hope you can you still see me?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Oh, you can see me, okay.
yes.
I just wanted to be sure you could still see me because I can't see myself, but if you can see me, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that situation hurt me so much because she is a woman and she and her direct report were accused of harassing their own subordinates to the point of tears. A lot of them had to resign their positions because they couldn't understand. I guess they didn't understand exactly what was happening with them. So we as leaders need to be really careful. Leadership is the capacity to influence others through inspiration, motivated by passion, generated by vision, produced by a conviction, and ignited by a purpose. This is a quote from Miles Monroe, and I really love it so much. He teaches us that character is important. We really need to be the leader we want to see. Let's take a step back and ask ourselves if we're comfortable in the leadership styles we have adopted. Are they working? There's so many leadership theories out there, like I mentioned earlier, but we need to recognize the style that works. I had an encounter with a lady in Indonesia about 15 years ago, and she left a lasting impression. She had asked her driver to pick us up from the hotel, and I admired the relationship she had with her driver. Despite the fact that she was boss, she was so humble and she treated him like a human being with so much respect and empathy. In my naivety, I was puzzled. Why did she treat him with so much respect? Why was she so humble? Why was she so nice to him? Why did he feel so comfortable in her presence? Why did his opinion matter on issues regarding her business? At that time, I was puzzled, but with the passage of time, I admired her style and I actually began to adopt it. Now I want us to begin to ponder on some points. Yes, we all have opinions of ourselves. We should never let other people's opinions of ourselves change our opinion of ourselves, especially if that opinion is negative. If you and I are good people, we don't have to struggle to be good. We should not struggle to have a good reputation. Character, once again, I'm stressing it, is very important. Let's not fall into a mere appearance of good, but let's strive to be really a person of goodness, truth, and character. We all have a blind spot and should be humble when certain things glaring to others but hidden from us are pointed out to us in love. If you're just starting your business, as a leader, you need to believe in your product. If you don't believe in it, you can't sell it to your future employees. Make sure you learn the business. If you take the time to prepare, you'll have believability and you'll be able to carry others along to support your vision. Preparation time is never wasted time. We need to be passionate, about what we do. Passion is contagious. As is a lack of passion and enthusiasm. If you are trying to sell a product you don't believe in, you are not convinced yourself, how can you convince somebody else about it? And then another point to ponder, mentorship is the key to extraordinary success. Mentors could either be older or younger. A mentor is someone capable of increasing your life. Sometimes as leaders, we find ourselves in a reverse mentorship situation. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have to humble myself and lean into the expertise of my youngest son, who is 12, when I have issues with my computer, my iPhone, or even a smart TV. If I can do this at home, I should be able to exhibit this same thing with my direct reports at work. Employees should be comfortable enough to bring their ideas to you. And as leaders, we should be humble enough to admit when we don't have the answers and acknowledge when a direct report presents a superior argument. Leaders who don't encourage a diversity of opinions might be missing out on something. Leadership is not about wielding power, but about empowering others. As leaders, we should stop prejudging people. First impressions may be limited. Leaders should never assume our intuition or perception is always correct. Our success as leaders will be affected by prejudice, fear, and discrimination. I have some other points that I want us to ponder on. As leaders, we should accept the responsibility for the mistakes of those under our authority. I once had a boss who did this on behalf of one of my coworkers. With that singular act, he earned the unwavering trust and respect of my colleagues and I. As we begin to wrap up, I reiterate that as leaders, our character matters. We must be intentional about listening to the needs of others and creating a culture of love and respect. I once worked at this building with some security men on the ground floor. My first day at the office, I said good morning, and I didn't get a response to one of the security men. I asked him why he didn't respond, and he said nobody had ever greeted him in the manner that I did. I felt so bad. Something that endears me to President Biden is the way he treats people. You see, as leaders, we should cultivate the habit of treating people with dignity and respect, no matter who they are or what their position might be. I don't know if any of you out there remember the story of Jacqueline Brittany. She was an African-American woman who works as a security guard at the New York Times. She said, "I love you" to Joe Biden in an elevator, and that exchange went viral. That same woman gave the first speech officially nominating President Biden as president at the Democratic National Convention. Hear what she said. She said, "I take people up the elevator all the time. When they get off, they go to their important meetings, and I just head back to the lobby. In the short time I spent with Joe Biden, I could tell he really saw me, that he really cared, that my life meant something to him. I knew even when he went into his important meeting, he would take my story there with him." As leaders, we need to be humble. I'm going to say this in plain language. We need to be humble. Yes, everybody knows we are boss. We need not rub it in. Let's not make people cringe in our presence. You see, there's nothing wrong with going out of our way to create the right atmosphere at work. Let's adjust the temperature so everyone feels welcome. If the right atmosphere is created and your employees feel a sense of belonging, you'll be surprised at how they'll bend over backwards for the business. We are all like seeds. If we create the right atmosphere with the right soil and nurture, we will grow. Create what I call a Goldilocks environment, not too hot and toxic, not too cold, gray and boring. I must mention that as leaders, we need to have some difficult conversations sometimes. Let's do it with respect and preserve the person's dignity. If an employee is doing something wrong, we need to have that conversation. When I was working in the healthcare industry, clients had complained about an employee who had bad body odor. I mean, it was one of the worst conversations I had. I had to have that conversation with this employee because I was the one chosen to have the conversation with her. They felt she would accept the correction from me because she was a person of color. And of course, I'm obviously a person of color. And out of everybody within HR, they said, Femi, you should have that conversation with her. It was difficult, but I had to have that conversation. And guess what? She changed and she thanked me. So sometimes it's not all the conversations that are pleasant, but some of those conversations we need to have, whether they are pleasant or not. As leaders, we just need to have these conversations. Network with your employees. That's another thing we need to do. Network with your employees. Sometimes we have to leave our comfort zone. We have to experience a season of pain in order to receive a season of gain. Sometimes it's uncomfortable when you're networking, especially if you're not the type that is used to it. But after a while, you'll begin to do it with ease. Move around your employees. Ask them how they're doing from time to time. Show them you really care. Success requires people. We can't succeed on our own. Going with the flow doesn't necessarily get us anywhere. If we only do what's been done, how can we expect to make any progress? Instead of setting out and doing what may be good enough, let's challenge the results and push for something better. Creating a better future requires innovative solutions. Real innovation requires having the vision to see the possibilities without limits. Let's have that in our mind's eye. Possibilities without limits. If we desire change and can encourage others to explore new possibilities, we are all on the right track. If we're able to encourage people to be the best versions of themselves, then we are well on our way. Leadership is not only about us. True leaders strive to elevate others on their journey. Ego and pride can get in the way of letting other people have their moment in the spotlight. If this is a challenge, we must learn how to drop our ego, our personal agendas, and desire for praise. As leaders, empowering people and aligning them with opportunities for success is one of our greatest strengths. You see, it has a lot to do with specific character traits. It's important to go beyond our limited abilities and allow others to step in and carry the torch. Sometimes the spotlight is not on us. We should step back and let other people shine. We shouldn't feel bad when the spotlight is on somebody else. Support that person. To empower others, look outside of your personal achievements. Invite others on the journey to create something greater than what's available right now. Focusing on the possibilities can bring us closer to our vision. You see, not all leaders are born with a gift. Leadership comes from the heart. It has to come from within. You know, some can develop the skills and leverage their abilities along the way. Primarily, if it comes from the heart, it should come from the heart. If you have a passion for achieving great things by unlocking the potential of people around you, it can be done. It takes the mindset of a servant to empower others selflessly. It takes strategy and results-oriented thought. We have to be intentional and deliberate about it. It's crucial that we be the change we want to see. And it takes a desire to achieve miraculous change without actively seeking any reward for it. If you are looking to grow your leadership skills, here are a few traits to keep in mind. Problem solving, our attitudes, integrity. You see, integrity is a very important part of leadership. I cannot stress this enough. I remember sometime last year, I think it was during the Black Lives Matter protest, the social unrest in London, there was this gentleman. His name was Patrick Hutchinson. He was a personal trainer from Wimbledon in London. And he was dubbed a hero for his intervention during the protest in London. He was pictured scooping up and carrying a white man from an opposing group whose life was under threat during the demonstration on June 13th. Footage and images from the Black Lives Matter protest showed Patrick and 4 of his friends aiding the alleged far-right protester as the violence mounted. So sometimes integrity is doing something that is not convenient. Sometimes we, as leaders, we might find ourselves doing something that is not convenient for us, but is convenient because of the vision. It's convenient because of what you want to focus on. You go out of your way. Sometimes as leaders, we shy away from taking some difficult decisions, but we really need to do that sometimes. We can't avoid it, you know. And then as we wind down, finally, when organizational leaders take the time to invest in what it means to have a love and respect-based culture, and then take decisive action steps to establish it in their organizations, the work of inclusion, belonging, embracing, etc., will be much more about maintaining and reinforcing the status quo and less about enabling much needed change so that we can have a world in which we all, without exception, can feel like we belong. The baton is really in our hands as leaders, and especially as women. The world of work is a microcosm of society. If we're able to establish these changes in our offices, we should seamlessly be able to transfer this into the larger society. You see, I want to quote from Maureen Wilde. She says, when employees respect each other and get along in the workplace, it's amazing how productivity increases, morale increases, and employees are more courteous to customers. We as leaders should enforce this. We can make it happen. The ball is in our court. Thank you very much for listening. Hello.
Janine, are you there? Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my in-law. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I was taking notes. Thank you so much. And I hope we all take everything out of what Mrs. Otomola just said. And yeah, integrity, like Dr. Tammy said the same thing last time, and say we have to, because being a leader is not for you, but someone is watching. Yeah. Make sure whatever you do is true, just based on true, and just do it. But always tell yourself, if it's someone telling me lies, will I accept it? If you cannot accept it, then make sure whatever you are putting out there is true. It's true. So thank you so much, my in-law, for all you just put out there. And back to you, Janine. And before we continue.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, Coach Tammy, that's amazing. And I really like how you talked about how let's adjust the temperature so everybody will feel welcome. Yes. You know that is a very, very important one, Coach Tammy. I really enjoy, because I can really relate to that, especially being, I'm not necessarily I did not operate being a HR person, but I've worked with HR doing trainings around professional development. And it was so important because back I was in Vermont doing the professional development trainings for staff and for teachers and, people who were definitely having issues around diversity, retention issue. You can definitely see how they were so uncomfortable around those conversations. So what we did, we had a strategy, me and my supervisor, the director of the program, be able to really, make some activity so people can feel that they can be the temperature. We were adjusting the temperature because that was very hard for people to be able to start those conversations about retention. And there were not a lot of people of color in my in that department. There were probably like the 2 of us or 3 of us, and I did not want to be used as a token too. That was another thing too for me. They asked me so many times, Janine, can you provide this? Can you? And I say, I don't think so. It's really a conversation everybody needs to be in. So there was some uncomfortable conversation, but I did make sure as a leader to be able to adjust the temperature so people can be able to feel that the voice being heard, but also doing their own work, because each one of us need to do the work. So I really appreciate that, Coach Femi, to be able to mention about the
Thank you.
temperature, because it's very, very important.
Yeah.
Now, our question that we have for all our speakers is, can you talk to us about some of the people who empower you when you started, or somebody that you always look up to? Could be those women or those men that they were encouraging you. Can you talk more about that? Hello, Coach Femi?
Oh, you want me?
Is he-
Oh, you want me to go? I thought somebody else was gonna.
No,
No.
it's just we have a few questions for you.
Okay,
That's
me.
every
Oh,
speaker.
I apologize. I thought you were talking
That's
to all
okay.
the panelists, and I didn't want to just I
That's
didn't want to
okay.
grab the mic again.
No, we had just a couple questions for you.
Yeah. So the truth about it is, even though it's a story for another day, I think the process I went through, as a woman of color, especially here in Canada, I didn't realize that I was going through a process. You know how it is when you're baking bread. You need the dough, you set it aside, you wait for it to rise, and you need it again, set it aside, put it in the oven. So by the time I went through that process and I came to, I was completely baked. I was baked. And to be honest, I didn't really see too many women around me. Yes, of course, in the media, we have women excelling in different spheres. But around me, what I'll say is my mom, growing up, my mom is a very strong woman. Oh my goodness. If I tell you, I'll just say this little thing. Her dad had 13 wives. And out of all the 13 wives, she was the first one to push to be educated abroad. I mean, she had like almost 50 siblings. So you can imagine what she had in her to get the attention of her dad, to have it, to get that passage to go study in the UK. So she had some kind of drive in her. And honestly, if I'm going to say anybody influenced me, any woman influenced me, it's my mom. She was such a powerhouse. And then she was like a praying mountain. She could move mountains with her prayers. So I watched her growing up, and I think I took some resilience and tenacity and the desire to succeed from her. She would never say never. She would never say die. So just looking, in hindsight, she is the one that deposited a lot into me. I mean, I have her DNA running through me anyway. And then, of course, I have Jesus. Which other example could I have? I don't know how many Christians are out there. But when the Lord tells me I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, I believe it. When he says you can say to that mountain, be thou removed and cast into the sea, I believe it. When he says, ask and you'll receive, I believe it. When he says, seek and you will find, I believe it. When he says, knock and it shall be opened unto you, I believe it. So what more could I ask for? I have the Lord with me. Who can be against me?
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Koskemi. And about your mindset, how can you also talk more about your mindset? How was your mindset when you first started, and also being like not many women around you or around that supervisor who was always everybody cringe like when they come close to her office. How was your mindset? How did you prepare your mindset to be able to go through all of that?
Yeah, you see, I had luckily before that the process had started. So when she started behaving like that, I was like, Before her, I had another supervisor that had told me, Femi, you intimidate people with your confidence.
Wow.
And up until that point, I thought confidence was a good thing. So
Yeah.
I was like, am I not, I didn't ask her, but I said it to myself. Am I not supposed to be confident? Is it because I'm a woman of color? Is it because of I grew up in Africa? Or what exactly is it? Why did she have the effrontery to tell me I intimidate people with my confidence? Had she not met people of color that are confident, like the women, the powerhouses I have on this panel with me? Has she not met any of us before? You know, so what I for the most part, I just ignored her. It was really difficult. And what made it more difficult was because I am someone that laughs a lot. I work hard and I laugh hard. So, and her office was like probably about 10 paces from mine. And she'll hear me roaring with laughter, not deliberately, but because I just wanted to free my mind. I couldn't understand why she was so, I could not understand it, you know? And people will come to me and she'll hear me laughing with this person. So she was like intimidated because she felt, oh my gosh, this lady is getting so popular. And you know what she did? She sent me to go deliver a training, respect in the workplace training. She thought I won't be able to do it. I don't know what gave her that impression. So I went and I delivered that training. And guess what happened? She got an avalanche of people were commending me from the east, from the west, for every people were sending her compliments and saying, oh my goodness, Femi did such a wonderful job. So it was like she really didn't know how to handle me. And honestly, I did her a favor by leaving. That's the truth. She just couldn't handle it. I wasn't rude to her, but she did everything to oppress me. She did everything to pull me down, but because I was focused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the last speaker said, don't ever lose your focus because you're going to have all kinds of distractions.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have all kinds of people trying to pull you down, trying to tell you you're not good enough, especially as a woman of color.
Mm-hmm.
They will attack your integrity. They will attack your confidence. They will attack anything that makes you you. So you have to make up, you know, you just have to make up your mind. In answer to your question, I know I strayed away a little bit, but in answer to your question, you just have to make up your mind and make sure that mind is not set wrongly. Set your mind in the right way. Focus. Make sure you don't lock that mind in unless it's the right mindset. If it's still wavering, don't lock it in yet. Once you're able to get that focus, then you can lock it in. Then you can move mountains. Then you can stay focused no matter what is thrown at you.
Thank you so much, Coach Femi. See, guys, I told you you're gonna be in for a good treat. So thank you so much, Coach Femi. And
You're
again,
welcome.
this goes back to what actually Coach Kim was talking about, ego.
Yeah.
Focus your mindset, and also we did continue with you know with Dr. Tammy, who continued to talk about detour. So again, this is unbelievable. Good nuggets. I hope each one of you guys were taking notes. People from YouTube, Facebook, and around the world. These ladies, they're gonna come back again, in the month of April. So we're gonna have another time where each one of them will have a solo time with us, so that we can interview them, so you can get to know them more in depth. Okay. Thank you for this wonderful time that we had. And you don't have no more excuses. You have the tools, guys, to continue on your journey in leadership. Thank you so much, Coach Kim, Coach Femi, and Dr. Tammy, Coach Sandra, and Rosalind, and Jasandra. You guys are really, really the tribe that we are very glad to have around us. So thank you so much. Again, I hope today, this morning, we had a break time. We had time for each one of if each one of you guys had time to focus on your business plan, in your idea, put it together. And this afternoon, you have all the tools that you need to be able to continue to execution, just like Dr. Temi said today. execution. It's time for action. It's good for us to receive all this empowerment, but the most important one, it's just you need to implement them. So this is really what we leave you with this afternoon, starting early this evening. Thank you everybody for being here. We're gonna meet again tomorrow. We have a wonderful panel again tomorrow at 11 Eastern Time and 10 Central Time. So Coach Sandra, few words before we go. And we promise everybody that at the end of the conference, we're going to put the link of all our speakers, websites, social media links, every single thing we're gonna put so you can continue to follow them and be there, because you definitely need them around you so they can be able to give you more tools. And this is one of the reasons why we create this platform. Thank you, Coach Sandra.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And we have to leave our seasons of pain to gain the season of greatness. Yes, thank you, my in-law, for that. And yeah, like Janine said it all. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Kim, for stepping, and Dr. Tammy is always with us. So thank you. She's not going anywhere. We got her for life. and, and Sister Gisandra as well, and now my in-law, because I'm feeding 3 boys out of her house, from her house, so she had to be in to provide so I can give them food in the house. So thank you,
Anytime.
You know how I call them Ade people. Ade people love food, so I have to feed them. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. And thank you, Rosalind. And we're gonna be here tomorrow, and it's the weekend. Please invite your friend. Invite your friend. And Sunday is gonna be our last day. We're gonna have party, and I put the cross. So thank you.
Yep, if you don't end it, we're gonna find out.
Let me just zip it. So back to you, Janine. Back to you. I love you all.
You.
I love you too.
Love you.
Thank
I
you,
was
guys.
looking for you, my in-law, on Facebook, but I can't find you. So please, if you find
you
my
won't believe it. I don't know if I should be embarrassed to say this, but I'm not on Facebook because I'm not really a social media fan.
It's okay.
You know, all the places I worked were kind of extremely conservative, and I said to myself, if I'm on Facebook and I'm commenting, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Yes. But now that I'm on my own,
you can
now that I'm on my own, I might just go on Facebook. I'm on Instagram though. I just set up my Instagram account after my daughter harassed me.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I just set that up.
Give it to me. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it to her.
I'll give it to you. But I'm on LinkedIn anyway.
Okay, I'll look for you as well.
I'd love to connect with you all.
Yes.
Dr. Tammy, Kim, Jasondra.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Love you all.
We have a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do have a lot of work to do. So please just don't connect because of this conference, and after the conference, nowhere to be found. Please stay with us. We have more coming. And being the Black women rising, we have to work. Those women are hungry. Some of them don't have a roof, because sometimes when your husband died, they chase you out of the house with the kid. They don't care what happened to you. That's why they speak up for a change. We just recently bought 20 hectares of land to build a home, to build a school, to build a shelter for those women and children. Some girls were raped and no one believed in them. They chased them out of the house. How can we embrace them? So please, 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 we need you around. We need you around. I was those girls yesterday, and it's a project that means a lot to me. It means a lot. Yes, it means a lot. And in the meantime, you guys will learn more the reason behind this journey that I know is gonna take a lot, but I say nothing is hard enough when you put it out there, people will support. So you may know people that I don't know and Janine don't know. But when
That's
we
right.
gather together, we can reach out to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Merci beaucoup d'avoir connecté cet après-midi avec Coach Sandra et de partout. Merci. On était avec Coach Kim, Dr. Tammy et Coach Tammy. Merci beaucoup. Et nous allons mettre les liens de chaque speaker à la fin dimanche. Vous aurez tout le lien de tout le monde. Comme ça, vous aurez aussi le temps de se connecter à tous ces panélistes. En tout cas, merci beaucoup et on se voit demain matin. Thank you, everybody.
Allez,
And
bisous,
we'll see you
bisous.
tomorrow
Love
morning.
you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye, bye,
We are
bye.
strong.
See you guys. Yes. Bye, bye.
Bye. Let me
Bye-bye.
stop the
Bye.